Hey everybody, Brittany Purcell with Brittany Purcell and Associates, realtors across Northeast Georgia. And I wanted to talk to you guys today about one of my favorite secrets about the real estate market. And that secret is how to sell your home with the absolute least amount of headaches humanly possible. Okay. So this is actually quite simple. It does cost a little bit of money, and it's a strategy that has worked very, very well for me in good markets, tough markets, and everything in between. So what I call this program is our certified pre-owned home program. Because you see, there's a few major hiccups that come up in a real estate transaction that can cause either delays or a termination in your agreement, all kinds of things that can make it a rocky situation, make it hard to get your home sold. So there's a couple of things that you can do. The first challenge that people come across once they are under contract on their home is actually the first thing is when you negotiate the price of the home, right? And so one of the things that we advise our clients to do in a certified pre-owned situation is to go ahead before they list and order an appraisal. Now, an appraisal usually runs in the ballpark of about $400 to $500. The more intricate the home, or if it is a commercial building or something like that, it can be more expensive. But the average home is going to be around $400 to $500 as of today in 2020. Okay, that can change over time, but that's what we would plan on investing right now. When you get an appraisal, you get a professional opinion of what the home is worth. When you get that professional opinion, it does a couple of things for you. It gives you some guidance on where you should be priced. No, you do not price over the appraisal and hope to come down. You price at or below the appraisal. I generally advise about 1% to 2% under the appraisal, so that then you have a little bit of extra wiggle room when you say, and you have negotiating power when you say, we're already listed below appraisal. And what that does for you is it gives you the confidence that whenever somebody brings you an offer at the very beginning, you don't have to worry about negotiating too hard, because you already know that you have the value. You already know that you can prove it, and you can prove it to their lender. You have control. All right. So an appraisal is number one. It also helps you later on in the process, and I'll explain that in just a little bit. Once you go under contract on your home, the next thing that's going to happen is the buyer's going to do an inspection. And oftentimes that's where the next phase of negotiations comes in. Well, the way that you interrupt that in a certified pre-owned process is you get your inspection before you list your home. Once you've gotten your inspection, you take the notes from the inspector, you get a handyman, you get the qualified contractors out there, and you take the advice from your realtor and figure out which of the items need to be done and which ones are irrelevant. Sometimes there's little stuff on those inspection reports and you don't worry about it, but sometimes there's stuff that needs to get taken care of. And that right there is one of the biggest things that you can do, is getting that inspection and doing those repairs. Whenever we list the certified pre-owned homes, we actually go ahead and share all of these documents. We share the appraisal, we share the property inspection, we share your receipts from your contractors as we put it out on the market. The next thing that you're going to do is you are going to get your house staged. It doesn't necessarily have to be done professionally, but as we've discussed in some of the other videos that I've done on YouTube, getting that presence of having your home ready to go and beautiful and ready for somebody to move in is going to be imperative. And so if you've done all of those things, then we have interrupted the entire process of the buyer in a good way. So now they go under contract, they're confident that they have the value, and we're not worried about proving that value to their lender. The next thing is they would have gotten an inspection. Some buyers will still choose to get an inspection, but in my experience, when you have an inspection from a qualified inspector and you have receipts from a qualified contractor, over 80% of your buyers will not get a second inspection. They may walk through with family or friends or anything like that just to put a second set of eyes on the property, but they are probably not going to do anything else, and they're not going to have to negotiate because you already took care of everything. Now, why would somebody do this, right? Why would somebody spend $1,000 plus repairs before they list their home? Well, if you're like some of our sellers, then you have to move, and you're looking for peace of mind in the process, and you're looking to make sure that that you get to the closing table with the least amount of speed bumps, right? I've had to sell homes sometimes 2 or 3 times before we find the right buyer, and I would much rather sell your home only once. And so this is one of those ways to do that and to get the absolute most for the property. Sorry, trying to line up this video here. It's all over the place, trying to be centered. But that's our certified pre-owned process. And it's a little bit of money up front, but what it does for you is it gives you stability. It gives you predictability in your contract, and it makes sure that once we put it under contract, you have done everything on your part of things to make sure that we get to the closing table. And for those that do this, generally we only have to write one contract on it, and it goes to the closing table because the seller did their due diligence. There's no surprises. All right, guys, I hope that adds some value to you today. And if you do not have a realtor who's coaching you on how to make this the smoothest process that it can possibly be, then come and talk to us, and we'll be happy to consult with you on what's best for you. Bye.